Good morning, people of God. Listen, I hope I hope everyone had a good night's sleep and they rested well. Um, we gotta cut Rachel some slack. I tried to keep quiet till I got further and further in the book. I'm still in Jasher, but I went back to Jubiliess because I don't know if you guys remember a few videos back. I was telling you how there's more to the story with Jacob and Esau, and I think I mentioned something else, but listen, I'm trying to keep quiet, but I can't keep quiet. I got to share this. We need to cut Rachel some slack. And I know, okay, I'll get to that, my sister. I see you. When you watch this video, know that that was your message that came through. So anyway, we got to cut Rachel some slack. Rachel, remember, um, I, come on now, Isaac and Rachel, they had Jacob and Esau. And I know many of you probably were like me too. You felt some type of way about Rachel because I know for me, I used to say, what mother would do that? Would help her son steal her other son's blessing? Remember when Isaac was dying and he was going to bless his son, so he wanted some venison, and he told Esau, because Isaac favored Esau, Rachel favored Jacob. And remember when Isaac, in the King James Version, King James left some stuff out. He didn't get everything in, and not to discredit the book, because the book is we need that book, but also the stuff that was left out, we need that too, right? So listen, I felt some type of way about Rachel because I used to be like, what mother would do that? Why would you even create this whole chaos between your sons? You know what I'm saying? For a long time, until I got into these books, the Jubilees, and then now I'm in Jasher. It expounds on Jacob and Esau. So listen, we need to cut Rachel some slack. She did that because Abraham, see what happened was, let's gossip about these folk in the Bible. Y'all know these are folk. But she did that because Abraham told her to do that. And remember, and as I'm studying Abraham, I know we used to be like, oh, Abraham, he killed the man because when he broke up that fight, remember he saw them two people fighting, whatever. We like, Abraham had an anger problem. Yeah, that may have been one of his flaws, but he was trying to do the right thing. However, these scriptures expound on how Abraham had the favor of Yahuwah all the days of his life. God was pleased with his heart. Say Abraham was upright in all his ways, and Yahuwah was pleased with him when it came to his heart. So if we think back to, and I'm jumping off subject a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But if we think back to like, well, dang, he did kill that man. He was trying to break up the fight. His intentions was good. God saw the heart. See, people, the matters of our heart is so important. It is so important. The heart is what pleases the Father. All right. So anyway, let me share something. Let me go into more details and shed light on this thing while we got to cut Rachel some slack, okay? She ain't just did that to be mean because she wanted to cause chaos between her sons or whatever. Jacob had a good heart. Jacob's heart was good, and he was attentive to the things of God. Esau was a man who his heart was, he really didn't care much. Even when they had learned, when they was growing up, when they would learn Jacob, they learned to read. Esau, he didn't care about learning much. He was trifling. And it says his heart was very fierce and intense. He was always so dominant and just always wanted to go to war. He was a man of the field. He was expert in the field. But it says that his heart was deceitful. Now, I'm going to shed some light on this. I'm going to just read it to you, and you're going to see why Rachel did what she did. Because Abraham, who was had the favor of Yahuwah, God, he already knew that his seed should carry on through Jacob. So that's why she did what she did. And I'm gonna read. I wish I had my highlighters, but I'm not at home, so I don't have my highlighters and none of that, so I don't have to keep, because I had to go back and find this. And as you get so far away, this book doesn't come with markers, so I have to begin to mark it myself. But I want to read to you from the book of Jubilee. Let me put this bookmark here, and I can hold this page. Wait a minute. Give me a second, guys. So yeah, let's cut Rachel some slack. She was being obedient and doing the right thing because Jacob was the one who was to carry on, right? So I'm going to read to you Jubilees 19, starting at verse 13 to verse 23. Jubilees 19, verse 13 to 23. And they got their original Hebrew names in here. So just know that when I pronounce the names, it's going to be in their original Hebrew names. All right. So verse 13. And in the 6th week, in the 2nd year, therefore, Rivqah, Rachel, and Isaac, 2 sons of Jacob, and Esau, bore 2 sons to Jacob and Esau. And Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of the field and hairy, and Jacob dwelt in tents. And the youths grew, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learned war, and all his deeds were fierce. And Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abram saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rachel, and it said Rivqah, but I'm going to just read it. He called Rachel and gave commandment regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said unto her, My daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead on the earth, and for a blessing in the midst of the children of men, and for the glory of the whole seed of Shem. For I know that Yahuwah will choose him to be a people for possession unto himself above all peoples. Get this over here so I don't have to. Above all peoples that are upon the face of the earth. And behold, Isaac, my son, loves Esau more than Jacob. But I see that you truly love Jacob. Add still further to your kindness to him, and let your eyes be upon him in love. For he shall be a blessing unto us on the earth, from henceforth unto all generations of the earth. Let your hands be strong, and let your heart rejoice in your son Jacob, for I have loved him far beyond all my sons. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sand of the earth, his seed also shall be numbered. And all the blessings wherewith Yahuwah has blessed me and my seed shall belong to Jacob and his seed always. Yep, that's what Abraham told Rachel. So now we have a little more light shine on that, and we can fall back on our criticism of Rachel. Because, like I said, I felt for years and years, every time I read that story, I just felt like, wow, Rachel was so trifling. What mother would do something like that? But Jacob had the favor of Yahuwah. He had the favor of God, his heart. He was meant to go on and have the blessings of Abraham, of his father Isaac, because he was the one that Yahuwah was favored with because of his heart. Now, and I want to also tell you something. Esau killed Nimrod. Remember in the story I shared about they knew your star. Okay, so we knew Nimrod was Noah's grandson. He was the son of Ham, Noah's son Ham. And Ham had Nimrod in his old age. And Nimrod was a man very strong. He fought all the battles of all his brothers, all the family. So remember, they made him king, and he put Terah, Abraham's father, in a position under him. But then after a while, they went off. They didn't follow in the ways of Yahuwah. They served false gods and stuff like that. However, I remember they wanted to kill the baby Abraham, but Terah hid him in the cave. So I'm just taking you back to that. But Nimrod was still living in the land, and he became jealous of Esau. Esau knew that. Esau killed Nimrod just because he was jealous of him, right? But I want to shed some more light on Esau's character, and that's going to be in the book of Jasher here, where it says in the book of Jasher, chapter 26, in that book, because I got to go back to that later. In the book of Jasher, chapter 26, verse 17, it says, it's talking about Jacob and Esau now. Um, and the boys grew up to their 15th year, and they came amongst the society of men. Esau was a designing and deceitful man, and an expert in the field, and Jacob was a man perfect and wise, and dwelling in tents, feeding flocks, and learning the instructions of Yahuwah and the commandments of his father and mother. So you see, that shines a little bit more light on the hearts of Jacob and Esau. Jacob had a heart after God. So that's why he had the favor of the Father. So that's why he was supposed to receive the blessings of Isaac before he died, right? So that's why Rachel did what she did. She made the venison for him, put the little hairy goat skin on his arm so Isaac could think that he was Esau. Because remember what I told you, the spoken word is the most powerful word. Out of the mouth comes life or death. So the blessings that Isaac was going to speak over Esau, he spoke it over Jacob, and the words can't come back void. Remember that? See? So everything is coming full circle. Everything makes sense. I remember when I was a child, my grandma spoke some words over me, and she said, because she had some a medical situation, and she was out of the hospital or whatever, but she wasn't feeling good, and she loved the way I would tap on her back, and she wanted me to do that. I remember she said, "You gonna grow up to be somebody and make something of yourself," you know. Her words, the words that she spoke, it came to pass. But anyway, that I don't know why that just came back to me. But you see, Isaac, when he spoke those words couldn't come back to him void. So that's why Rachel did what she did, because she knew the favor of God was upon Jacob, and he was supposed to receive that. Esau didn't care about the father's business. Esau was deceitful. He was blessed to be skilled in the field. He was an expert hunter, but his heart, he was trifling. And then not only that, you can also put two and two together and see where when he had what King James left out. Remember, he sold his birthright for a bowl of pottage. Well, after he killed Nimrod, he ran back. He fought two of Nimrod's men that were with him. They got into a fight with Esau, and it was hard for him to fight the men off, but he was able to fight them and overcome them. And he ran because several other of Nimrod's soldiers were coming after him as well. But he ran back to his brother, to the house, to safety. And then he was so hungry, he's like, my soul is about to fail me. And that's when he asked Joseph for the bowl of porridge. Jacob for the bowl of porridge. And he was like, and Jacob was like, sell me your birthright. And Esau was like, who cares? I don't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even care about his birthright. He sold it for a bowl of porridge. So that shows you, he didn't care about the father's business. He was just always devious and, just always wanted to fight. Just very an aggressive man. Just didn't have a care for the things of Yahuwah. So that's why he didn't have the favor of God upon him. And it just, I can let Rachel, okay, I forgive you. I can have grace and mercy for Rachel now. It's easy to put our mouths on people sometimes when we don't have the full story. And Lord knows, like I said, I'm guilty. I used to feel some type of way about Rachel for many, many years. Like, I used to sit on that thing and just, I remember one time I cried. I was reading and I cried. I was like, what mother would do something like that? And now you got these boys hating each other, but it was more to the story, so I just wanted to share that. Y'all, we need to cut Rachel some slack. Is more to that story, guys. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on in my studies, but I just wanted to share that. And if anything else comes up in mind for me to share, I will hop back on here and share it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sabbath. In the name of Jesus, Yeshua. Continue to let your light shine. Don't ever let your light grow dark. You are the light of the world. And if nobody told you yet this morning, it's 6 a.m. this morning on this beautiful Sabbath, if nobody told you they love you, I'm telling you, I love you. You are special. You are anointed for a reason now. You your mama's big baby. Yes, you are your mama's big little chugga wugga wugga. Okay, your sister loves you. Go in peace and know that the blood of Jesus is the only blood that has power.